Okay, it's officially time to start this A to Z mini-Rework, my thoughts, ideas, changes, so on and so forth. Wow, I said that pretty quick, didn't I? Okay, Poppy, the keeper of the hammer, even though she is the chosen one. Eternals, cool, yeah, definitely. Okay, damage, physical, style, mostly ability, little auto attack, difficulty 2, I can agree with this. Oh my, crowd control 3, toughness 3, damage 2, mobility 2. I agree with this, but this should honestly be lowered because she really shouldn't be hurting as much as she is, and she does a lot of damage. Runeterra has no shortage of valiant champions, but few are as tenacious as Poppy. Bearing the legendary hammer of Orlin, a weapon twice her size, this determined Yordle has spent untold years searching the secret for the fabled hero of Demacia. Said to be its rightful wielder, until then she dutifully charges into battle, pushing back the kingdom's enemies with every whirling strike. Okay. Go to her abilities. Iron Ambassador. Okay. Didn't realize that was called Iron Ambassador. Poppy throws her buckler that bounces off the target. Poppy can pick it up to gain a temporary shield. Honestly, I like this passive. I really do. In general, I think it's a pretty good passive. Hammer Shock. Poppy swings her hammer, dealing damage and creating a zone that will slow enemies and explode after a delay. Yet again, I actually like it. Now, how fast she spams this thing is a little bit annoying, but eh. Steadfast Presence. Poppy passively gains armor magic resist. This bonus increases when she is low on health. Poppy can activate Steadfast Presence to gain movement speed and stop enemy dashes around her. If a dash is stopped, the enemy is slowed and grounded. I actually really do like this ability, and in my personal opinion, this ability is what differentiates the terrible Poppies and the good Poppies. Then we have Heroic Charge. Poppy dashes to a target and pushes it back. If the target is pushed into a wall, it is stunned. Very simple. Nothing honestly too insane. I will say though that when it comes to Poppy, this is another ability that kind of like differentiates the good and the bad Poppies. But not really by an insane margin in my opinion. And then we have Keeper's Verdict. Poppy channels a hammer strike that knocks enemies very far away. It always knocks them towards their base, just in case you're aware. Or if you don't charge it and you just tap the button, it'll slam the ground and then knock them up, but it will be like right next to her AoE, not a skill shot. So overall, honestly, I really do like Poppy's kit. I really don't think it's broken. I think that it is definitely annoying because she gets really tanky. Like, late game, she becomes insanely tanky. Her W doesn't help with that at all. And the fact that she has as much CC as she does and as much movement as she does really just makes it difficult. And she hurts a lot more than anyone's going to give her credit for. Like, early game, she hurts a lot. You'd be surprised how much she can just go in on you and it works. And then late game, she really doesn't hurt that much. But to, like, squishies, it still hurts. Especially when she's just dive bombing you. So honestly, when it comes to Poppy, I like her passive. I really don't think it needs change in the slightest. Her Q, I think that the cooldown should be reduced if she lands the AoE from it. But the cooldown itself should be increased. Why? Because I think it is spammed way too much. It's on like honestly, it's like a 3 or 4 second cooldown, but you can just spam this thing and hit people with it so often. It's basically a guaranteed hit if they're at close range. And honestly, it really isn't anything that insane, but at the same time, it's just annoying, and it's spammed so much. So I would make it so, as I said, that like if they are hit by the little AoE that it creates afterward, this little shock, if that explodes and hits them, then yes, I will have it have the cooldown reduced. But in most cases, it won't hit them unless you're already CCing them, which is exactly why I'm saying this, because better Poppies will be able to proc it when meh Poppies won't. Steadfast Presence. I hate and love this ability. Because honestly, I forget that you can't dash in it. Because so many times I've either hit it or tried to dash and it's just fucked up. And it's just, yeah. But I would take away the increase in armor and magic resist. If anything, I just have it be a very little increase, and I would not have it increase any more the less HP she has like it is. I think that is a little bit overpowered. Early game, it really does make the difference, because like single amounts of armor and magic resist early game can be a big difference in a fight. And late game, very large amounts of armor and magic resist are the differences. So the fact that this does like more, and the more or less HP you have, I really do think that that needs nerfed. Honestly, her E, I don't think it needs nerfed. I think that the hitboxes on it should be a little bit distorted. Because there's been a lot of times where I really didn't think I hit a wall, or I was close to a wall, that I got stunned. Then I'm staring like, how did I get stunned there? And then there's been other times where either I've played as Poppy, or I've seen, or like I've been hit by the ability, and like I will fully admit I hit that wall. Like I went into the wall and it did not stun me. But as I said, like it's kind of like just iffy with the hitboxes. So I do think that the hitboxes for this ability need to be like tweaked. But honestly, I don't think it's anything insane. And her R, I'd honestly, like, yet again, I would keep it the exact same. The only thing that I really don't like the fact about it, though, is that it makes the target invulnerable. Times like, I honestly personally like Poppy Jungle, and because of that, I prefer to go in and hit, like, just tap your R and knock someone up. But there's been a lot of times, though, where, like, the person that I'm ganking is also using their abilities around the same time, or at the same time I knock them up. And it causes things to happen, like, where all their damage is negated, and now I just, like, I'm the cause. So it's a little bit annoying in that regard. So as I said, I would like for them to not be invulnerable, at least if you just tap the ability. But if you send them all the way back, then they are vulnerable. Or reverse that, make it so that if you just tap the ability, they are invulnerable. But if you launch them all the way back, they are not. So just a quick recap. Q don't have to change. Passive, I'd increase the cooldown, but I'd have it be the same cooldown if they like get hit by the after effect. W, I would fully take away the bonus armor and magic resist. I just don't think it's needed. Poppy, I would think that the AoE of her charge should be a little bit changed, and then her alt, I think the the invulnerability should be messed with at least a little bit towards it. And now let's go towards the skins. Regular Poppy, Noxus Poppy I like, Lolly Poppy I hate, Blacksmith Poppy I hate, Ragdoll Poppy I hate. Battle Regalia Poppy is amazing. Scarlet Hammer Poppy is okay. Star Guardian Poppy is really good. Snow Fawn Poppy is really good. Hextech Poppy I love. And yeah, so real quick we'll go back through it from worst to best. The absolute worst, in my opinion, has to be Ragdoll Poppy. It's just such a shit skin. It's really not good. Then I would go to Lolly Poppy. Then I would go to Blacksmith. After that, things become a little bit more difficult, because next I would make it the Scarlet Hammer. I would actually come back to Noxus is the next one that I would put on the list. Then I would go Star Guardian. Yeah, you saw it, Star Guardian. Then after that, I would then go to Battle Regalia, because this is one of my more favorite skins of hers. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about this a little bit, so I'd actually put this before Star Guardian, but after Noxus. That's a lie. I'd put this after Scarlet Hammer, but before Noxus. Then I'd make it Noxus, then Star Guardian, then Battle, and then Hextech, because Hextech is really just a genuinely good skin, and, yeah. So, that has been my overview on Poppy, or my overview, my A to Z Mini-Rework, my thoughts, ideas, changes, so on and so forth. If you agree or disagree with anything that I may have said, please leave a comment down below. I will gladly get back to you. And, yeah, I am the best ever at coming up with character ideas. Quote me on that, yeah. And I'm going to thank you all very much for watching, and I bid you all adieu. Goodbye.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids scream